Okay, I'm going to give you some information that'll be helpful and then explain what we're going to do about it. Okay, let's just go to this first. When we're doing a median, and this is regardless of method you choose, when we're doing a median, if there are an even number of points, say 3, 6, 8, 10, then the median is always the average of the two middle numbers, because there is no one number that's right in the middle. So you take the two numbers that are right in the middle, in this case 6 and 8, all right? You take the average of those two numbers, so the median is 7, okay? All right, if there is an odd number of data points, then the median is the number right in the middle. We can say that there's 2 below and 2 above. So in this case, 8 is right in the middle, the median is 8, okay? So that's the first thing I want to go over. In any case, even number, take the average of the two numbers for the median. Odd number of data points, take the one right in the middle. Now, there is no universal method for calculating Q1 and Q3 when there are an odd number of data points. Okay, I read this on the internet. I did a lot of research in the last couple of days, more than I ever thought I'd want to. Okay, all right. So again, let's start with the median. There is no doubt, there's zero question, and there is no discrepancy that because there is an odd number of data points, the median is the number that is right in the middle. So the median is 22. So that is there's no argument there. Okay. However, for Q1 and Q3, there are discrepancies as to how we calculate that, and there are two methods. The two methods are: do I include the median in each half? So does 22 get included in the first half and 22 get included in the second half? That's the inclusive method, INC. Or does it get excluded? In other words, since 22 is the median, do I just concentrate on these four numbers for Q1 and these two numbers on Q3? Remember, Q1 is the median of all the first half of numbers. Q3 is the median of all the second half of numbers. The only question is, in that first half of numbers and the second half of numbers, do I include that median or do I not include that median? And that's where statisticians have basically, I guess, based on what I've read, arguments, so to speak, as to which one should be done. So instead of choosing one universal method, they decided, well, there's two different methods, which I totally disagree with, but I'm not here to debate that. I can't speak for what they've done. All right. So if we do Q1, excluding the median, okay, excluding the median. So that means that is gone. So I'm going to look for these four numbers right here, okay? Let's highlight them. Because I'm not including the median, which is 22, I am looking at these four numbers, and I'm excluding the median, and I take the median of those four numbers. Remember, I'm going to reiterate this. Q1 is simply the median of all the first half of numbers. Q3 is the median of the second half of numbers. All these rules apply, whether it's even or odd. The only question is, do I include 22, excluding? No. Or do I include 22, which is the median? INC, yes. Okay. I am not including in the excluding method, so I take the median of these four numbers, okay, which is four numbers, which means that the average of the two numbers in between those four numbers, 11 and 13, is 12. So if I do the exclusive method, the median of Q1, which is the median of all the first half numbers, Q1 is 12, all right? Now, for inclusive, let's go ahead and highlight all these, okay? I'm going to do the median of these five numbers. Why? Because I am including this median that is 22, okay? So now I have five numbers, okay? And all I do is take the number that is right in the middle. The number right in the middle is 13. So that Q1 will be 13. All right. Now let's do the same thing for Q3. Okay. Let's do the exclusive first. Now let's get rid of these highlights so I can show you. Oops. Okay. So if I do not include, which is exclude, so exclude the median in my calculations, that means these are the four numbers. Oops. Okay. All right. If I am excluding the median, these are the four numbers I'm taking the median of for Q3. All right. And again, because there's an even number of data points that is the average between the two middle numbers, which is the average between 29 and 31, which is 30. So if I exclude the median for Q3, Q3 is 30. If I include the median for Q3, then that means there are 5 numbers, and I simply take the middle number, which is 29. Okay? All right. If they're an even number, so I went over here and I said, we're going to use a universal. I'm going to do it by hand. We're going to just do this by hand, okay? The methods are the same, okay? I'm going to split, in other words, for median, it's 23. Again, anytime you're doing a median, even number, take the average of the middle two numbers, odd number, take the middle number. In this case, I have 10 data points, okay? The actual median itself is the average of these two numbers, which are the two middle numbers, 22 and 24, so the median is 23. Okay? And that's never, ever an issue. So if you miss a problem, test, or homework of a median, you're not going to get any credit. All right? However, now, there is no exclusive and inclusive for even number data. You basically take the top 5. If it's split, then you just take the median of the first half, and you take the median of the second half. Since there's 10 numbers, that means if I take the median of these first 5 numbers, it's the middle number, which is 13, so Q1 is 13. And if I take the median of the second 5 numbers, the median is Q3. The middle number of these 5 numbers is 31. So I basically split, I'm going to recolor this now. I'm going to split the data into 2 halves. Okay. Just nice little colors here. Okay. So that means when there's an even number of data points total, I just split them in half. Here's the first 5, in this case, 5 and 5. Here's the second 5. The median of this first 5 is 13. Q1 is 13. The median of the second 5 is 31. Q3 is 31. Okay. All right. Now let's get to how we're going to deal with this, because I need to work on this, obviously, for fall. And there's in the research I've done in the last 2 days has been excruciating pain. I promise you it has been, based on, what method is correct. And according to the websites I've read, there is no correct method. There is no incorrect method. It's just your preference. Is it inclusive? Is it exclusive? And Excel is not always cooperative in these things. So do all the problems and do the test. All right. If you, I expect you to get the medians. Oh, and one more thing. Here's one thing I want to go over. I do want you to, however, do this. When we do any problems we do with this 5-number summary, I want you to use the inclusive, which means if I use the inclusive, I'm using these 3 numbers as the lower, or to calculate Q1, and I'm using these 3 numbers, including the median, both, calculating Q3, which means simply and easily that this is Q1 and this is Q3, okay? Which we've gone over those. So to find the IQR, the IQR is the difference between 64 and 53, which is 11, and get the outliers from there. So when you do, and I want you to get these right, I'm just going to tell you right now, anytime you do the 5-summer summary of a data set, you use 53 here as your Q1 and 64 as your Q3, which means we're using the inclusive method. The inclusive method, all right? And that's pretty simple, okay? And other problems that you do, I want you to try it. I want you to see if you come up with the answer for Q1 and Q3. And again, you need to calculate. I want you to do all the problems, and I want you to do Q1 and Q3. The only ones you may miss is Q1 and Q3 because of the method and because of Excel and all that, okay? You should never miss the median. You should never miss all the other questions that I ask you, okay? But you may miss Q1. These, I expect you to get these right, though. I'm telling you right now, use 53 as Q1 and use 64 as Q3. Okay, so I expect you to get these problems right. If you miss Q1 and Q3 in your homework based on whatever factors, okay, then just move on. After everybody is done taking the test and the homework, I will go ahead and adjust accordingly. Because right now, you guys have all started these tests and homework, and there's no easy way to go back and take the problems out, etc. It's something I'm going to have to deal with for this test, and I apologize, but there's a little more to find in these quartiles than I expected. But just go, you march forward, do the problems. If you get a Q1 or Q3 wrong, based on, it's not a problem like this. Okay, just move on. I'll adjust, and on a test when you do it, I expect you to get all the other problems. I expect you to still try the problems. If you get it wrong, I will adjust for now. Okay, that's all I'm going to promise you right now, and keep marching forward. Go through the rest of the chapter. Everything else I showed you is fine. There's no other glitches. It's just these two, Q1 and Q3. That's the only issues you should be having. All right? Okay, good luck.